Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, for you, I got our Week 2 matchup from the British Pokemon League. Coming off of our win from last week, we're looking to continue our success on this adventure in the British League. You see on the screen before you, our matchup. It is another week where we're playing a team that has a Tailwind Mon that is Prankster, so they're going to be able to go fast, a tad bit better than us, but they also have some good Trick Room Mons on their team, much like last week. Now, Mega Steelix isn't exactly Melmetal, but it can hit extremely hard nonetheless, especially since Tyranitar Sand is going to be giving it Sand Force. I don't see Mega Houndoom coming, so with that information, I decided Mega Scizor looked really good into this matchup. Being able to hit Deoxys defense for super effective with Bug Buzz, and Bullet Punch with Mr. Mime that I figured would be annoying with Follow Me, because outside of Houndoom, there's no way he has to really hit Scizor for a lot of damage because he resists most of the attacks from the remaining Mons. And just looking at my roster, Houndoom doesn't make a whole lot of sense to come because he has to assume that both Tyranitar and Garchomp have a really good shot at showing up, along with Jellicent as well. And even Zeraora can carry coverage for it, so that's a lot of threats on my team that's going to be able to, you know, threaten it and force it to play in a certain way because of super effective moves. So with that, I just wrote off Mega Houndoom is coming this week. Hopefully that doesn't bite us, but with that knowledge, Mega Scizor looks absolutely incredible in this matchup. The key Mons when building this week I kept in mind was the Deoxys Defense, Haxorus, and Mega Steelix, with some techs on the team for Meowstic, obviously, because Meowstic can be incredibly annoying if you don't have the correct information and technologies on the team for it. Along with that, Riolu was also something that I was speed creeping for with some of my things, and we'll go over that a bit more when I show the team here in a minute, but the 3 Prankster Mons were really high on my radar of things to be concerned about. And then along with that, Erectlos was also something that I considered a bit, but I wasn't seeing it as a huge threat because even though I won't be able to hit it with super effective unless I bring something wild out there like Gravity Girafarig, I knew that just with our, normal effective moves, being able to hit it, we would be able to remove it from the field without a whole lot of issues. But we'll slide over to Showdown now, we'll go over the spreads a bit. So as I said, Mega Scizor is coming to this matchup because of the fact that Houndoom just isn't coming, and if it does, we have things to deal with it, so it's not a huge issue. You see, we have 140 Jolly as our speed stat. This is just outrun Riolu mainly in case it comes and it has some kind of offensive move. Outside of that, our speed on Scizor wasn't extremely necessary because of Bullet Punch, but because of that, we was able to just go max attack and then have 116 left over for just bulk, which was really nice. Bullet Punch and Bug Bite is all we needed. Bullet Punch for the priority on everything, and then Bug Bite for Deoxys mainly, and Meowstic as well, and Houndoom, if it came, it did big damage after a +2 from Alcremie and such. And then just the Tech Tailwind again, because we have to assume Tailwind's coming, and something on my team's going to need to run Tailwind, and I didn't want to bring Venom off this matchup, so we just went on and teched the Tailwind back onto Alcremie again. Or, not Alcremie, onto Scizor. Alcremie's on the mind because it's next. It's just another Choice Scarf set with Decorate, Dazzling Gleam, Encore, and Charm. Dazzling Gleam, honestly, is really fun this matchup because it gives us a super effective move into Haxorus, which is why we invested heavy in special attack this week. It does about 70 to 90% depending on his spread. And then we just have enough speed to outrun Mega Houndoom if it does come. Alcremie is just, going to be support this week again with Decorate, but also it has the option of going for Dazzling Gleam in case we need it to hit Haxorus, if they would lead something like Haxorus and Mr. Mime. Next, we have Garchomp, that is Sped Crypt for max speed Haxorus. This is going to be our main way of hitting it if need be, because Dragon Claw should OHKO all variants of it. After that, we went with a good chunk in attack and 60 in defense just to be able to live some attacks. We don't need max attack when we have both Decorate and Coaching on the team. And this week, instead of going with Earthquake, we brought Earth Power as our ground move as a better way to hit a physical Steelix, as Earth Power should OHKO pretty much most variants of it as long as it's not running like max HP and max special defense, but it will OHKO a max HP one. At +2, that is. Or not even, as long as we're at +2, it will. Outside of that, it's just big damage and everything else. After those three, Jellicent was an absolute have to bring to this matchup because it is going to wall the Steelix, is the idea here. And that is what its spread is completely based on. It has enough speed to outrun a max speed Steelix. And along with that, it can also outspeed a Steelix if we would go down to -1 somehow. So if something has Icy Wind. But on top of that, we then have 100 special attack. This is just to make sure that we can two-shot a max HP Steelix, as it will always do 50% minimum. And then the rest is just bulk to be able to live attacks. The Cobra Berry is just in case something like Steelix would have Crunch, just so we can wall it a bit better. This way we can pretty much live any attack it wants to go for and make them either a 2-hit or in some cases a 3-hit. And then we have a Zeraora this week that is fully teched out for support. Fake Out is always going to be there. Electro Web is to help counteract Tailwind a bit. This way we can start to get a good foundation on speed control. And we have Coaching just because Coaching is such a busted move, being able to give our partners a +1 attack and +1 defense. We have enough speed for max speed Houndoom if it does come, and enough special attack to two-shot a Tornadus. Outside of that, Air Balloon is just to be able to avoid earthquakes if need be. It could be Shuka, but I didn't really want to run Shuka because that's only going to let us avoid one earthquake. This way they're forced to attack it with something else first before they can go for earthquakes with Steelix. And then we just have Tyranitar with Rock Slide, Crunch, Brick Break, and Protect, Max XP, and max attack. This is just for damage and being able to live things. We have Chocolberry to be able to live the Drain Punches, possibly from a Deoxys, help us live Body Press better from Steelix. And then we have Brick in case the Meowstic brings screens, because that was something I noticed late into the matchup that could be extremely annoying for the team overall. But with those 6 Mons, we'll slide on over into the battle and see how that goes now, why don't we? Hopping on into game 1 here, you see the Mons that we talked about in our builder on our side, and on his side he decided to bring Tornadus, Until, Steelix, Mr. Mime, Electros, and the Haxorus. So our call of no Houndoom turned out to be correct, which is really good for us since we have the Mega Scizor. It's pretty much exactly what we expected, minus the Huntail. You'll also see that this is a replay. As unfortunate as that is, I've had some internet issues, so I had to play on mobile this week. And obviously I'm not going to record on mobile because that would just be a travesty, and I have to struggle with recording that on mobile. We'll just start it off here. You see he led Tornadus and Haxorus, and we led Garchomp and Alcremie. I switch out Garchomp assuming he's going to go for Tailwind and a Dragon move because that's his best play, I thought, and then he whips out a Swagger Lumberry. This caught us. The Dazzling Gleam does 92 to it, just missing the KO. The Earthquake, luckily we survived because of the bulk we have in both Mons, and we get the Disable off a Curse Body, which was huge, because that means this Haxorus isn't going to be able to go for the spread attack this turn again. And he just targets down the Alcremie, and we go for the Recover, knowing that we'll be able to get Scizor in this next turn and KO Haxorus with a Bullet Punch. The Bullet Punch obviously is going to be enough, and the Tornadus this turn catches us with a Hurricane that does over half and confuses us. A tad bit of bad RNG. Luckily we get through the confusion and attack the Tornadus, taking it down to 21, and that's going to put it in range for Scizor just to pick it up. The Steelix will go for Earthquake, and Jellicent lives with its bulk, and Scizor lives it quite comfortably. And Jellicent, the absolute monster, decides it wants to crit and burn the Steelix on the same turn. Very unfortunate for JaBBA, but I'm not going to complain. Leaving it in a 2v1 situation of Mr. Mime versus Scizor and Jellicent. The Dazzling Gleam does pick up Jellicent, unfortunately, but it just in the long term means that Scizor is going to get another kill here onto the Mr. Mime, as another Bullet Punch will wrap it up, and we'll slide over into game 2. In game 2, based off of his lead last time, we decided to change our lead up slightly and go Zeraora and the Scizor, expecting him to want to go for something a tad bit different. He switches out the Huntail knowing that both mons are threatened, and we just go for the Scizor, and we go to match their Tailwind because we knew we wasn't exactly threatened by anything on the field, and just go for the Electro Web for damage on both. You see it does slightly under half, so either the Tornadus has some bulk or we low rolled the Electro Web. We just protect Scizor and go for the coaching to start giving it some bulk. We catch the Hurricane on it, and it goes for Earthquake, so we avoid that turn and get a free coaching because of our protect, since our Zeraora is on a balloon. We get a second coaching off here. We bug bite the Steelix just for a tad bit of chip to hopefully get it in range of a Earth Power from Garchomp. Another Hurricane confusion, as unfortunate as that is. We live the Bullet Punch. We just go for another protect because we need to keep Scizor around. The Electro Web crits the Tornadus. Not sure if it mattered, depends on how bulky it is, but they crit us back with Body Press, which will put Zeraora in the range of cleanup moves and such. Mr. Mime comes out with the Follow Me, but since we're +2, we're going to one-shot it with Bullet Punch without much of an issue. We went for Electro Web just because we have no other attacking move, and I didn't think coaching was necessary that turn on Scizor. We live on 1 HP because of the 2 defensive boosts that we have, and our boy Garchomp gets to come in. We Bullet Punch the Huntail in case it's heavy speed investment. We know we wouldn't outspeed it because we have so little speed on the Scizor. Earth Power just misses the Steelix, which is highly unfortunate. And the Huntail will pick up Scizor with an Icy Wind, as we're seeing that it is a speed control option for him. I don't know if that's his only attacking move, but it's a really good one, and it leaves us with a Jellicent versus 2 low HP mons. They go for the Icy Wind, but we know we outspeed the Scizor, or the Steelix, because of our speed investment, which will leave it in a 1v1 against a 4% Huntail, which Jellicent will just easily take down. It was a clean 2-0 win for us in week 2, meaning we'll be 2-0 on the season, contending for the 3rd or 2nd place spot, depending on how the other games go, just because of our game differential. But very solid week from our end. Definitely a RNG set. RNG definitely played a role in it and helped us. I'd say it also hurt us a bit. He got the crit on the Body Press and the confusions. Luckily the confusions never impacted us a whole lot. But a lot of fun, some good prep on my end, I believe, and JaBBA had some fun things. I really didn't expect the Lumberry Swagger, which was a really fun call from him. Tad bit risky on my opinion, but it worked for him in game 1 because I did not play around that. But with that, I'll leave y'all, and I'll see y'all when I head into week 3 of the British Pokemon League. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.